Hi guys, I hope you're all well and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Leica M9 and my 1 year experience. And I just have to admit, just to get straight off the bat, this camera is absolutely astonishing. I bought it sort of on a whim, sort of not. I was very lucky to use a Leica M9 that Leica UK kindly sent to me to review. That was the very first Leica camera that I ever used, and I can still remember it to this day. And it was a very foreign object. I didn't really understand the rangefinder system at all. My background in sports photography basically meant that I only used digital SLRs basically all the time. So, you know, having this little patch up here trying to find focus was a new thing for me. I really enjoyed how mechanical the system was, you know, from your aperture ring to your shutter dials, you know, to your ISO and bits and pieces like that. It was just absolutely, you know, fantastic. From someone who's been in a world where you literally move the dial back and forth to do aperture, you know, ISO, shutter, you know, everything. So to have that like manual feel and like that pure like essence of photography again was just something that I had lost and kind of forgotten about as the from the film to the digital transition happened. And don't get me wrong, digital cameras are absolutely fantastic. I mean, this D800 that's recording this video now is a brilliant camera, and I absolutely love it. I think it's the best camera that Nikon has ever made. But this Leica is just better for me, and it might not be for you. But this is the Leica M9. Some of you will know if you've seen the video sort of up here. I bought this basically because of its CCD sensor. Like I said previously, I had the M10R, which is absolutely fantastic, 40 megapixel camera. The colour images were brilliant, the black and white images were solid and crisp. Oh my god, that camera was absolutely brilliant. And I'll be honest with you guys now, if I ever do see a Leica M10R come up for a very good price, I probably will get one, because the M9 is, you know, it does show its age, but that doesn't mean that it isn't an incredible camera now, because it really is. So basically, I picked up this M9. It was a really good price on eBay, a price that I just couldn't not afford not to miss, basically. And I got it. I read up online that the CCD sensor was sort of co-developed with Kodak, etc. There are myths and rumours to that, but I'm not going to go into that at the moment. But it's a full frame sensor, and this camera produces some of the best colour images I've ever seen. And it's just, they're vibrant, they're contrasty, the clarity is absolutely fantastic. It's just an absolute joy to use. Now, contrary to that, you'll be really surprised that I use this camera mostly for black and white images. Now, I'm going to do a separate video of my journey on black and white, because it's nearly a year that I've been shooting black and white, which is quite extraordinary really, because it's come around pretty quick. But what I do is shoot these in black and white with the JPEGs, and then I also have the RAWs that are obviously raw in colour, and I either do my black and white conversion on the RAWs, or I keep them for the colour file as well. So I'm shooting the best of both worlds with this really. So what can I say about the Leica M9? I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It's built like an absolute tank. It's made of brass. It has the traditional removal of the bottom plate there, where you can get your battery and your SD card from, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I love this. A lot of people, when the M11 got rid of this, went mad about it. I was one of them, because I kind of like this. It's a nod to the old, like, you know, M6 days, M4, that sort of thing. Other people were rejoiced. That's just how the community is. I absolutely love this camera. It's a solid bit of kit. The rangefinder is bright and just so accurate. I absolutely love it. And like I alluded to earlier, it's just something about it that's just basically the pure essence of photography. I mean, okay, fine. Let's talk about like some of the cons, okay? I mean, rangefinder isn't going to be for everybody. It's completely manual focus. So it's completely reliant on you. There is no safety net bar, like, you know, some, you know, exposure compensation in the camera that's going to save you, basically. So, you know, it's all on you, the photographer, which I really love, because if I've missed a shot, that's my fault. It's not the camera's fault. The only person to blame is me, which I really like. And it lets me learn for next time. So if I've blown out the highlights, shit, okay, I've blown out the highlights, I need to learn that I need to expose properly for the conditions that I'm in, okay? It's bits and pieces like that. It is a 18 megapixel camera. Now, in the time, in the day and age where there's 60 megapixel Leica M9s with triple resolution and, you know, various bits and pieces like that, 18 megapixels sounds very little. However, for someone like me who does do a bit of printing on the side, guys, prints available down below in the description, and who majority, you know, shares the images now on social media and, you know, a little bit of client work, 18 megapixels is completely fine. I used to be a person who used to chase megapixels all the time, hence why I was one of the first in line to get these D800. And I'll be honest with you, the 18 megapixels I'm not worried about. I'm more worried about chasing photos now than chasing megapixels. That's just how I've come through my photography cycle and my journey. You could be on that journey, you might be starting that journey, who knows. But it's 18 megapixels and you've got to, you know, you've got to take that for what it is. The only thing really, because it's CCD, is the ISO capabilities. So, I mean, I'm very old school and kind of use it like a film camera. What do I have it set on at the minute? So, the ISO, you can pull it, which is interesting. It says pull. That's a very word we haven't heard in digital photography. So, we can pull to 80 ISO and it will go all the way up to 2500 ISO. I currently have it set at 400 and I'll be honest with you, I'll probably push it to about 800 and that's your lot. So, in essence, I'm kind of shooting it like a film camera, which again, I really love because I love film, as we know on the channel. But I think it's absolutely brilliant. This thing is amazing. I've currently got the 50mm on here. I also shoot it with a 21 wide angle. Oh, that's a good point. So, with this, unlike SLRs and bits and pieces, you put your lens on and you can see absolutely everything through the lens. With a rangefinder, it's completely different because, as you can see, I'm got my eye across here and the front of the camera is here. So I'm relying on the rangefinder system to show where the frame lines are within its window. So this has 50mm frame lines, which is brilliant. However, if you go, I believe on the ME, lower than 28mm. So if you're shooting anything from, you know, I think they do from 16mm all the way to 24mm, you are not going to be able to see the range as the frame lines in the rangefinder. So what you do, you have a little external thing that pops at the top that you can do your frame. You know, you do your focus or your zone focus, which I've been doing. You know, and you pop in, boom, there you go, and you take photos. You know, it's you learn with the camera. But I've had this for a year, or just a little over a year now, and I absolutely adore taking photographs again. Sports photography used to be my 9 to 5 for nearly over a decade, nearly 2 decades. Now I take this everywhere I go. I take candid photos. Sometimes I might not even take any photos at all, but it's an absolute joy to have this Leica with me. It really is. It's an amazing camera. The photos are absolutely brilliant. Hopefully you agree, because photos will be going on throughout this video. And I love it. I absolutely love this camera. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And, you know, they're quite cheap now on the open market. I say quite cheap. I think you're probably talking about £2,000 in UK prices to, you know, to pick up a nice one. Caveat with the ME or the M9 is obviously sensor corrosion. Now, this does have sensor corrosion. That's how I picked it up so cheap. However, it's only when I'm down to like F11 or F16 that those little spots do occur. And a quick little spot removal does the job completely fine. And again, they're only showing up on my example when I'm doing stuff with, like, you know, wide open landscape, or, you know, shooting in the sky for like airplanes and bits and pieces like that. All right. So make sure that, you know, if you are worried about that, make sure that the second-hand camera that you are buying has had its CCD glass replaced. It's not the sensor, it's the glass in front of it had corrosion issues. If you've picked up one like mine and it does have corrosion, there are companies within Europe that actually still do it. But bear in mind, this is probably going to cost you around about £900 to £1,000. So it's a heavy investment, but I think it's worth it, because the colour and black and white images that you get from this camera are absolutely outstanding. And I just absolutely love this camera. I think it's the best camera I've ever had. And I've been extremely lucky to have various digital cameras from various brands and review loads of stuff. But I love Leica. I love this camera. I think it's absolutely amazing. But anyway, guys, that is my 1 year with the Leica M9. I hope I can do another update in a year's time and say how this old girl is still producing absolutely amazing images. I hope it is, because I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. It's a phenomenal camera. I love it. I love shooting with it every day. And hopefully, if you are looking at this now and thinking, do I buy an ME? Yes, go and buy an ME. You will not be disappointed. This camera will teach you more about photography than any modern day system could ever could. Okay, it really can, and you'll enjoy it. You'll have fun using it. I guarantee you'll have fun using it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Like I mentioned in the video, I am started selling prints just to have a little bit of a, you know, side hustle and bits and pieces like that of my street work, you know, landscape work, and equestrian work and bits and pieces like that from previous years. So link is down below for that. There's also links as well for the ME on eBay. If you do purchase a ME, either of those links in the US or the UK, I will get a slight kickback. So if you do, thank you guys, I really do appreciate it. But in the meantime, guys, take care, have fun taking photos, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers, guys.